Hey there, fabulous students. This is Miss Barnes, and I wanted to give you a quick little recording about the way our class works. This video will work for both English 4A credit recovery and 4B credit recovery, so it works for both because they work the same way. Alright, so first of all, remember, when you're in our class, this is what it looks like. This is your course homepage. There's always a banner here that you want to read. Some helpful stuff, especially if you don't know how to chat with me or you're just looking for information. You also want to make sure that you are reading these announcements. Make sure you scroll down because there's several that can be helpful for you, especially about the projects. And you also want to make sure you're using this resources button. Alright, it's pretty helpful. There's a video in here about the Poe project if you are stuck on the projects. Helpful. Lots of things about how to understand how the course works here. If you scroll down, you will find specific details for each of our course projects. Sometimes there's even a video in there as well and details about the final essay. If you're having a hard time with the PDF worksheets, there's some RTF documents here. You just click on these bold links. Alright, so that's the basic stuff that you should remember all the time. Okay, but if you are starting our course, let's take a look at our very first unit, Utopia and Dystopia. When you first click on it, there's only going to be one item in here. So you have no other choice but to actually click on it. So let's click on it. Alright, this is an introduction. You want to make sure you read it, and if you want to listen to someone reading it to you, awesome. You can click that. And you're just going to kind of keep going through, make sure you're reading it. I'm going to go a little faster for the sake of time. It tells you what is expected, and it also gives you a checklist, a journal. Make sure you download those. Those are very helpful. And then when you get to the last one, it tells you that a quiz is coming up. So get ready for a quiz. So you are going to, you're all done with this, so how do you get back? You might be like, what do I do? It's okay. There's a little breadcrumb trail. It's kind of hard to see. You can either click the home button, but if you just kind of click up here, we're going to go back to our Utopia and Dystopia. I'm going to click Mark Reviewed. This means that I've actually read through the unit. And now I'm going to take a quiz. Alright, so I click on the quiz, and I'm going to take this quiz. Alright, it tells you that you have to complete it right then and there. Once you open it, you do need to make sure that you complete it. So hit begin and take your test. And what you are going, basically what will happen is, I'm going to begin. Alright, give it a second here. The goal obviously is to pass your quiz. We're just going to go through and pretend that I'm taking the time to answer this quiz and saving all my answers. Alright, I'm going to save and submit. I'm going to say OK for the sake of showing you how our class works. Alright, I can click OK if I want to view my results, but it's saved and submitted. So now let's go back to Utopia and Dystopia and see what happens. Alright, so you notice that another quiz pops up. Now the reason this quiz popped up is because this first unit is a little different. There are two quizzes in a row. So go ahead and open the second quiz. I'm going to hit begin and show you again. The goal is to pass the quiz the first time. If you pass it the very first time, then you're just going to keep taking quizzes. Every time you pass a quiz, what happens is the computer assumes that you know the material and you don't need to review anything. Alright, so I took this. I didn't pass it. Now, this is what happens when you do not pass a quiz. It will actually open up a new section of information. Alright, so if you pass a quiz the first time, you're going to skip this section and it will simply open up a new quiz. However, if you don't pass it, like I just did there, I got a 0. Alright, it will open up the new section, so go ahead and click on it. And again, you're going to read through the material, download any study guides that you see as you come to them. Take the time to read about each of the material that's listed for you. take the time to complete the tutorials. There'll be games and different activities to help you understand the concepts. Make sure you take the time to do all those. Here's some flashcards you'd want to take some time to do. And now it says, congratulations. You've passed this section. Now it's time to go back and take the quiz. So it's telling me the quiz that I need to take. It's the context clues quiz. Remember, we've already taken it once, but we didn't pass it, so I'm going to go back. I can mark this as reviewed as well. I'm going to go back and I'm going to take my context clues quiz. I'm going to begin, and this time I need to pass it. Okay, you have to pass all of the quizzes with a 70% or better. And to kind of help you understand all of the details, let's show you this little detail. It's actually in your course. Several little things. Alright, but here is the main one. So, again, the first time you take a quiz, it's a pre-quiz. If you get at least 70% on the quiz, you'll automatically skip the next section and go to the next quiz. But if you don't pass with a 70%, the next section will open up for you, like it did for me. Then you can go back and retake the quiz after you've read through all the material and marked it as reviewed. Okay. Finally, you can take each quiz up to 5 times. So if you want to raise your grade, if you have passed but you're not satisfied with your score, you want more points, awesome. Go back and retake the quiz. However, remember, once you click on a quiz, you have to take it, otherwise you'll earn a 0, and it will count as one of your attempts. So be wise with your quiz attempts, but do the best that you can, and don't be afraid to go back and try for a higher score. Finally, if there is a section you need to review that didn't open for you, you can go to the orientation button. So I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about. Say, for example, you've passed all the quizzes. Awesome. But remember, our course has some projects that you need to complete, or there's a section that you're like, oh, I really want to review that material. Awesome. You're going to click on this orientation button, and here is a table of contents. Alright, each of the units, we have 5 units. This is utopia, dystopia, all the way through to the conclusion, and then each of our sections. So if you want to actually look at, utopia and dystopia, the 3rd section. This is about Animal Farm. You could actually go through and review the material. And then up here, you can barely see your breadcrumb, but you can click the orientation button if you want to go back to the orientation, or we're back on our home screen. Okay, so I hope that's been helpful. You can also find this information in the resources button. And remember, if you have any questions, please use this communication button right here, and you can send me a message and ask for help. I'd love to help you be successful in your class. Alright guys, keep working hard, and I'll see you in class.